When you begin to change, when you start showing up in the world as your true self, something powerful happens. The people around you, those who were once comfortable with you, who knew you as a certain version of yourself, will begin to feel threatened. You might not have even done anything to them, but they suddenly feel like they're losing something. And in that moment, something incredible is triggered: fear. Let me be clear, they don't hate you because of who you are. They hate you because you are a reminder of something they wish they could be, something they're too afraid to confront. You see, when you start growing, when you start leveling up, you become a mirror. And that mirror doesn't just reflect who you are, it reflects who they could be, if only they were brave enough to step into their own power. But most people aren't willing to face that. And so what do? They react. They lash out. They find a reason to push you away. I need you to understand something right now. This isn't about you. It never was. It's about what you represent. When you take a step toward the life you want, when you start breaking through the limits you once accepted, when you stop living in the shadow of fear, your growth becomes a glaring reminder to others of everything they haven't done. And that makes them uncomfortable. Your very presence challenges their choices, their stagnation, their inability to step into their own light. And instead of facing those uncomfortable truths, they'd rather shift the blame. They'd rather direct their anger toward you. Think about it. How many times have you watched someone else go after something they truly wanted, and instead of cheering them on, you felt a small sting of envy? That little voice in the back of your mind whispering, "Why not me? Why am I not brave enough?" That's how it works. When you do something they're afraid to do, when you become a person they wish they could be, it makes them confront their own fears. And confronting fear isn't easy. It's messy. It's painful. It brings up all the places where they feel they've fallen short. It makes them wonder why they haven't done more with their lives, why they haven't chased their dreams, why they haven't taken that leap. And so instead of looking inward, they turn it outward. They direct that discomfort toward you. It's easy to take this personally, to think, what did I do wrong? Why do they suddenly dislike me? But you need to stop right there. This isn't about you. You're simply a reflection of what they are not yet ready to face. You are the person who is doing the thing they can't summon the courage to do. You are the one who's pushing the boundaries, and that is something they may not even understand, let alone support, because it makes them realize they're still holding themselves back. And let me tell you something, this is a sign that you're on the right path. You're living in a way that triggers them because you're forcing them to see the gaps between their own potential and their reality. You're a reminder of all the things they could be, all the things they could have done, but they're too scared to try. And instead of supporting you, they lash out to avoid feeling their own guilt or inadequacy. They'd rather push you down than admit to themselves that they've been stuck for too long. But don't let their hatred distract you. Don't let it make you question your worth or your journey. Understand that the more you grow, the more people will be forced to face their own limitations. And the harder that becomes, the more intense their response will be. You will find that people who were once close to you, people who seemed to have your back, will suddenly pull away. They'll stop supporting you. They'll criticize you. They'll do anything they can to distance themselves from the person you're becoming. And it'll feel personal. It'll feel like betrayal. But it's not betrayal. It's fear. Their own fear. They're afraid of what your growth means. It means that their own life might never change. It means that they are stuck and you've moved past them. That's terrifying. It's much easier for them to direct their anger toward you than to confront the fact that they're not living the life they could be living. Now, I need you to hear this because it's important. You're not responsible for their journey. You can't make them see what you see. You can't force them to believe in themselves the way you believe in yourself. You can't make them take action. The only thing you can control is how you show up. So when people start to hate you, when they start pulling away, you have to stand firm in the truth that this isn't about you. This is about them. This is about their inability to step into their own power. This is about their fear of seeing someone else live the life they wish they had the courage to pursue. When you begin living your truth, when you begin showing up as the person you were always meant to be, that's when the walls start to crack. That's when the people who can't handle the shift will start to distance themselves. But that's not your problem. That's their battle. You're not here to make others comfortable. You're here to grow. You're here to shine. You're here to break free from the chains that once held you back. And if that makes others uncomfortable, so be it. That's their work to do, not yours. It's a hard pill to swallow, but you need to accept this. Your growth isn't for everyone. Some people will never be ready to celebrate your success. Some people will hate you for being brave, for being unapologetic, for being willing to live outside the box. And that's okay. It's not your job to fix their discomfort. You're not here to dim your light so they can feel better about their own darkness. You're here to blaze your own trail, to step into the power that's been within you all along. And when you do, when you finally embrace that truth and realize that the hate isn't about you, but about their fear, that's when your journey truly begins. That's when you can start walking confidently, knowing that every step forward is not just a victory for you, but a victory for the person you're becoming. And the more you evolve, the more they will either rise to meet you or fall away. Either way, you're still moving forward, and that's all that matters. You've probably felt it before, haven't you? The gut punch when someone who once had your back suddenly pulls away. The feeling of betrayal that hits when someone who you considered close, someone you trusted, starts to treat you differently. It's confusing, isn't it? You ask yourself, what did I do? What changed? You start to wonder if you've done something wrong, if you said something you shouldn't have, if you behaved in a way that hurt them. But here's the reality: the shift isn't about you. Not at all. It's about them. And you need to understand that deep down if you're ever going to stop feeling blindsided by it. The moment you begin to evolve, the moment you start growing into a version of yourself that you've never been before, something shifts in the energy around you. And it's not always going to be positive, because you're no longer the person people are used to. You're no longer confined to the image they've had of you, the one that they could hold on to, the one that they were comfortable with. When you change, when you stop playing small, when you start showing up as your authentic self, it forces people to confront their own discomfort. And that discomfort, it gets projected onto you. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't say anything bad. But you've triggered something in them, something they weren't ready to face. The truth is, people hate change, especially when it makes them confront their own stagnation, their own fear, their own resistance to growth. When you evolve, it holds up a mirror to their own life. They start seeing the things they've avoided, the things they've ignored, the opportunities they've let slip by. And that's uncomfortable. It's easier for them to turn that discomfort outward than it is to look within. And so they project it onto you. The truth is, people don't hate you. Because of who you are, they hate you. Because of what you represent. You are a mirror to them, reflecting all the things they wish they could have done, the dreams they've abandoned, the potential they haven't realized yet. They don't hate you for being you. They hate you because you are forcing them to face their own inaction, their own lack of courage, their own fears. And when they see you walking down a path that they are too afraid to walk, it brings up all their own doubts and insecurities. It's easier for them to blame you than to admit that they haven't been brave enough to do the same thing. So they pull away. They start treating you differently. They start resenting you for simply being who you are. It's painful when this happens, I know. It feels like betrayal because, let's face it, we don't expect it from the people we trust. We expect them to support us, to celebrate us, especially when we're stepping into our power. But not everyone is ready for that. Not everyone is equipped to handle someone else's success, someone else's growth, especially when it forces them to look at their own lack of progress. But I need you to hear this loud and clear. This isn't about you. When people start treating you differently, when they start pushing you away, it's because of their own fears, not your actions. The reality is, you're challenging them, and it's easier for them to reject you than to confront the things they need to change within themselves. Your growth is a reflection of their stagnation, and instead of addressing their own shortcomings, they project their anger, their disappointment, and their resentment onto you. They think that by distancing themselves from you, they can somehow avoid facing their own discomfort. It's easy to internalize this, to think you did something wrong, to think that if you had been quieter, if you had been more humble, if you had stayed in your old role, they would still be there, by your side. But I'm here to tell you that this is not about you. You didn't do anything wrong by growing. You didn't do anything wrong by embracing who you are. In fact, you did everything right. You're breaking free from the limits that were holding you back, and that scares people. It scares them because deep down they know they haven't been brave enough to take those same steps. They haven't been willing to shed their old skin and step into the unknown. They're stuck. And instead of supporting your journey, instead of celebrating your courage, they try to bring you down because they're not ready to face their own limitations. You have to let go of the belief that this is somehow your fault. You have to stop questioning yourself and wondering if there's something wrong with you. There isn't. The person you are becoming is a natural part of your evolution. You're shedding the skin of who you used to be in order to step into the person you're meant to be. And in that process, not everyone is going to be able to come with you. Not everyone is going to be able to handle the shift. And that's okay. That's not your problem. That's theirs. And while it may hurt and it may sting, you need to accept this as a part of the process. The people who fall away, the people who stop supporting you, are revealing their own resistance to change. Their reactions have nothing to do with your worth or your journey. They're simply a reflection of their own fear. Fear of change, fear of growth, fear of confronting the person they could be, but aren't ready to become. And in their fear, they turn away from you, not because you're a bad person, but because you remind them of everything they're not doing. But here's the powerful thing about this. This is a sign you're on the right track. The more people react negatively to your growth, the more you should know that you're making progress. If you're triggering people, if you're forcing them to confront their own resistance, you're doing something right. You're living in a way that demands people question their own choices. And that's uncomfortable for those who haven't found the courage to live that way themselves. So don't let their rejection stop you. Don't let their shifting attitude make you question your worth. Keep moving forward, keep growing, keep evolving. You're not here to make others feel comfortable with their own complacency. You're here to break the chains that have held you back. You're here to create the life you've always dreamed of. And if that makes some people uncomfortable, so be it. You don't need their validation. You don't need their approval. The people who matter, the ones who are ready to support your journey, will rise up to meet you. The ones who can't handle it, who aren't ready to confront their own stagnation, will fall away. And that's okay. Let them go. You're not responsible for their journey. You're only responsible for yours. So the next time someone starts treating you differently, when you start feeling that distance, don't internalize it. Don't make it about you. Recognize it for what it truly is, their fear, their resistance, their unwillingness to evolve. And then keep walking. Keep growing. Keep shining. Because this journey is about you and no one else. When you begin to walk your path, when you start embracing the life you want to live, and when you finally decide that you're no longer going to settle for less than what you deserve, there's one thing that will always happen. You will trigger people. Not everyone will be cheering you on. Not everyone will be clapping for you as you take bold steps forward. In fact, the opposite might be true. The more you push boundaries, the more you rise, the more some people will try to bring you down. But here's the truth. This is exactly what you need to happen. If you aren't triggering some people, if you aren't making them uncomfortable, then maybe you're not growing fast enough. Maybe you're not showing up in your life in a way that challenges the status quo. Because the reality is, when you grow, when you push yourself past your limits, when you step into the person you're truly meant to be, people will notice and not all of them will like it. And that's a good thing. You have to embrace this truth if you want to live a life that matters. You are meant to trigger others. You are meant to challenge them. You are meant to make them feel uneasy. Why? Because your growth is a reflection of the things they're not doing, and that's going to make them uncomfortable. And that discomfort is exactly the fuel you need to keep pushing forward. Let's face it, change is hard. Growth is not easy. It's messy. It's uncomfortable. And when you start making changes in your life, it forces everyone around you to face their own discomfort, to face the things they're afraid of, to face the parts of themselves that are still stuck in place. And that's where the resistance comes from. It's not personal. It's not about you. It's about their unwillingness to do what you're doing. It's about their fear of change. It's about their reluctance to step outside the box they've been living in. And when they see you doing it, when they see you stepping out of your comfort zone, they feel threatened. And so instead of celebrating your success, instead of supporting your journey, they try to pull you back down. They try to make you feel small. They try to get you to shrink because your growth forces them to see the places where they're still stagnant. But here's the thing, this is a clear sign that you're on the right path. If you're not triggering anyone, if you're not making people feel uncomfortable with your growth, then maybe you're not pushing yourself hard enough. You're not going far enough. The moment you step into your power, you will naturally disturb the peace of those around you who are not ready to embrace their own potential. And that's exactly what you need to do. You need to keep triggering them because that's when you know you're growing at the pace you need to. You might be tempted to hold back, to pull back, to make yourself smaller so that you don't rock the boat too much. You might be afraid of the judgment, afraid of the negative reactions. You might even start doubting yourself when you feel like you're losing people who were once close to you. But don't fall into that trap. Don't shrink yourself to make others feel better. The world needs you to rise. The world needs you to be bigger than your circumstances. You cannot let their discomfort stop you from doing what you're meant to do. If you're not triggering anyone, you're not living up to your potential. You're playing it too safe, and playing it safe will never get you to the life you want. What you need to understand is this: your growth is a challenge to others who are not ready to grow. When you decide to step into your fullest potential, when you start doing the things that scare you, when you embrace your own power and show up as your true self, it makes everyone else question why they're not doing the same. And instead of confronting their own fears and limitations, it's easier for them to attack you, to resent you, to judge you. Why? Because you remind them of the things they haven't done. You're holding up a mirror to them, and they don't like what they see. They don't like the fact that you're out there doing what they've been too afraid to do. And instead of being inspired by you, instead of seeing your growth as a beacon of possibility, they react negatively. They pull away. They start resenting you. But that's not on you. That's on them. If you want to be the best version of yourself, if you want to live the life you were born to live, you need to stop worrying about who you're making uncomfortable. Because the truth is, when you grow, the people who truly matter will rise with you. The ones who are meant to be a part of your journey will be inspired by your courage. They'll be motivated by your determination. They'll celebrate you because they see you stepping into your greatness. But the people who can't handle your growth, the ones who aren't ready to level up themselves, they'll either distance themselves or try to tear you down. And guess what? That's okay. Let them go. You don't need them to keep moving forward. Your journey is yours alone. And it's not about keeping everyone in your life. It's about having the right people around you. The ones who understand that your growth isn't a threat, it's a gift. So the next time you feel that resistance, the next time you notice that someone is reacting negatively to your success, don't shrink. Don't dim your light. Don't apologize for growing. Celebrate the fact that you're making waves. Celebrate the fact that you are living in a way that challenges others to step up, even if they're not ready to do so. Keep pushing forward, keep leveling up, keep doing the things that scare you. Because every time you grow, every time you step into your power, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And if that triggers some people along the way, well, that's just a sign that you're doing it right. Let them have their discomfort. Let them have their resentment. You're not here to please everyone. You're here to live your truth, to pursue your dreams, and to show the world what's possible when you refuse to settle. So yes, keep triggering them. Keep making them uncomfortable. Because when you do, you know you're on the right track. You know you're on the path that will lead you to the life you've always dreamed of. And don't you dare slow down for anyone. You've come this far, and you're just getting started. There's this pervasive fear that hits hard when people start turning their backs on you or when their reactions become cold and distant. It's a fear that whispers in your ear, maybe I should stop. Maybe I should just go back to who I was before, when things were easier. But here's the truth: the hate, the criticism, the rejection, it's a sign that you're doing something right. You see, the moment you begin to show up in your life with power, when you start shedding the old layers of fear and doubt, when you start embracing your fullest potential, the world around you will react. Some of those reactions will be supportive, loving, and uplifting, but many, many will be filled with criticism, judgment, and even hate. And it's easy, so easy, to want to shrink back, to apologize, to go quiet, to hide that power, to dim your light so you don't make others uncomfortable. But listen to me when I say this: don't you dare. Don't shrink. Don't pull back. Don't apologize for your greatness. Keep shining. Keep pushing forward. You need to understand something fundamental to your growth. When people start hating on you, when they start pulling away or criticizing you for the things you're doing, it's because they see something in you that they wish they had the courage to do themselves. You are triggering them, yes, but that trigger is not a reflection of your character. It's a reflection of their own insecurities, their own unaddressed fears, their own resistance to change. People don't hate you because you're successful, because you're growing, or because you're becoming a better version of yourself. They hate you because you are showing them everything they're too afraid to face. You are forcing them to confront the parts of themselves that they've been avoiding, the places where they've been too comfortable to grow. And instead of taking responsibility for their own lack of action, they will lash out at you. They will resent you for showing them the possibilities that they are too afraid to pursue. But here's the beauty of this: you cannot, and you should not dim your light for anyone. You cannot let their discomfort dictate your future. You cannot let their unwillingness to change stop you from growing. Their hate is simply a reflection of their own fear. It's a projection of their own stagnation. So when that hate comes at you, you need to do the opposite of what your instincts tell you. Instead of shrinking away, instead of backing down, you need to stand taller. You need to shine brighter. The more they try to pull you down, the higher you must rise. Every time they try to bring you to their level, you need to level up. Your growth is never about their comfort. It's about your power. It's about your purpose. It's about the life you're meant to live. Think about it: growth, true growth, is always disruptive. Think about a plant that's been in a pot for too long. If you keep it confined, it may survive, but it won't thrive. It will be cramped, restricted, unable to reach its full potential. But when you take it out of that pot, when you break it free from its small container, it might go through a shock. It might look like it's struggling at first. It might even seem like it's dying. But in reality, it's breaking through its limitations. It's moving towards something bigger. And when it finally finds space to stretch, to expand, to grow, it blossoms in a way it never could have in the confines of that small pot. That's what your journey looks like. That's what growth looks like. When you push yourself past your limits, when you stop hiding behind the stories and excuses that have kept you small, there will be a period of discomfort. There will be moments when people criticize you, when they accuse you of being arrogant, selfish, or too ambitious. They'll try to convince you that you should be humble, that you should be quiet, that you should know your place. And in those moments, you will feel the temptation to shrink. You'll feel like you're doing something wrong. But let me tell you this with everything I have: you are not doing anything wrong. You're doing everything right. You're outgrowing the small spaces you used to live in. And that discomfort you feel, the pain of rejection, it's all a sign that you're on the right track. You cannot afford to shrink when the world around you rejects your growth. You cannot let someone else's fear control your trajectory. You have to keep going. You have to keep shining. Because as uncomfortable as it is, as painful as it feels to be hated or judged for your success, you're doing exactly what you need to do. The world needs you to rise. The world needs you to show up as the fullest version of yourself. You cannot for 1 second let the hate hold you back. The right people will come. The people who are meant to walk alongside you, who are meant to be in your life, will see your growth and they will join you on the path. They will cheer you on, not because they're jealous of your success, but because they're inspired by your courage. They will be moved by your willingness to go after your dreams even when it's hard. They will support you because they know what it's like to step into their own light, and they understand the journey you're on. But for the ones who cannot handle your success, for the ones who can't bear to watch you rise, let them go. Let them hate. Let them resent you. Because that's all it is: resentment. It's not about you. It's about their own inability to see themselves in your success. It's about their fear of confronting the things they've been avoiding. It's about their discomfort with their own lack of growth. And instead of addressing it, they'll choose to project it onto you. And that's not your problem. That's theirs. You cannot carry their burdens. You cannot dim your light just to make them feel better. So keep shining. Keep showing up for yourself, even when the hate comes your way. Because the more they try to bring you down, the higher you should rise. Let them see your light. Let them see your brilliance. Let them see you breaking free from the chains that used to hold you back. Because there is nothing more powerful than a person who refuses to shrink, who refuses to let the negativity of others dictate their journey. You were not born to be small. You were born to shine, to grow, to become everything you were meant to be. And no amount of hate, no amount of criticism, no amount of rejection can ever take that away from you. So keep going, keep growing, keep shining. The world needs you. Your journey matters. And the right people, the ones who are ready for the truth of who you are, will rise with you. And the rest, they'll fall away. And that's okay. Because you're moving forward, and that's all that matters.